What's up, guys? It's Sunday once again, so we're going to continue chipping away at the CD collection. We're still in the I section. I think this is video 81. If memory serves me correct, we went last video from bands that started with IN all the way to bands that started with IN. Well, this video we're stuck. We're still stuck in the INs for the duration of this one as well. Starting off with an absolute ripper, we have some death metal out of Ohio. This is Inoculation with Celestial Putridity, released in 2021 on Maggot Stomp. You know what you're getting into with Maggot Stomp. It's just some caveman, knuckle dragging, filthy death metal, and I absolutely love this. So I'm sure a lot of you have already heard this album that are following this channel, so you guys all know how good of a release that is. Next up, we've got a band with a sexual deviant as the front man. This is Inquisition with Invoking the Majestic Throne of Satan. I haven't purchased anything from Inquisition in quite some time. I try to separate the art from the artist the best I can. There's some things that are a little tough to do that on, but it's a shame because the two albums that I own from Inquisition are really phenomenal black metal. Then I have Inquisition with the magnificent glorification of Lucifer. I mean, obviously it's very dark themed black metal. Both of these were released through Season of Mist. Don't want to just spend too much time on it. I mean, the guy is kind of I mean, not kind of, the guy is a POS. So next up, we have some power metal. This is a band out of Sweden. This is Insania with Hymns of Insania, Stockholm Part 1, World of Ice. This was released in 1999 on Metal Blade Records. This is the debut full length from Insania, I believe. Pretty decent. I mean, it's kind of cheesy power metal, but I do like it. It's the only release that I own from Insania. I got this in a bulk lot many years ago, but it stayed in the collection for this long because it is pretty decent. Also, a pretty decent album. A little cheesy, but a pretty decent album. I can't speak today apparently. Next up, we have a ripper, another ripper. This is Insanity with Visions of Apocalypse. This is a kind of a death thrash metal hybrid band. This was a re-recording. I believe the original recording of this came out around maybe 2009. This was a 2015 re-record, and it's phenomenal. I liked the original one as well, but this re-recording is solid. This was one of those Unspeakable Acts Records slash Dark Descent Records releases. So you know when you see both of those label stamps on the back of a release, you know you're in something that has a lot of thrash and a lot of death metal fused together, and Insanity does it very well. Next up, we have a black metal project out of Greece. This is some very good Greek black metal. I believe I purchased this on Bandcamp back pretty early on when I was getting into Bandcamp. I think this came out in 2017. It is the sophomore release from Insanity Cult entitled Of Despair and Self Destruction. Very good black metal. I want to pick up, I think they have the debut that came out before this, and then they've got one that just came out fairly recently. I'm wanting to say that I would like to pick up as well. I just haven't gotten on the ball and picked up any more of their material, but this is a definite uh, phenomenal album. So I do want to check out some of their other material. Next up, we've got an album that I received in Metalhead Box. This is In Satanity with Hymns of the Gods Before. Canadian death metal. Kind of, I believe they're Canadian. Something like switched in my head when I said Canadian death metal. I almost feel like they're out of Florida, but they kind of, with this album, this is their, as I said, their newest. They kind of changed gears a little bit, went a little bit more of a blackened route, like blackened death metal. Very front heavy album. The first part of this, the first few songs on this are spectacular. Falls off a little bit towards the end of the release, but all in all, it's still an enjoyable release there. Released on CDN Records. I think it came out in either 2021 or 2022. We've got some hardcore. This is Incense with Soothing Torture. Kind of teeters the line in hardcore. It has some death grind elements going on at times, but make no mistake about it. It does just scream hardcore. Not something that I just spend a ton of time with. Not the biggest hardcore person, so, which is funny because there's going to be a good chunk of it in this video. But this was released on Candlelight in 2005, so that one's been out for just a little bit. Next up, we've got Insidious Disease with After Death. I believe this band's out of Norway, some Norwegian death metal. Solid release. Released in 2020 on Nuclear Blast Records. I keep telling myself that I'm going to spend more time with this because I've listened to it a few times, and every time I listen to it, I really like it, and I just kind of get sidetracked by other things coming in the mail, and I really haven't given it the full-fledged attention that this album warrants and deserves because it is a solid release, and I'm kind of let down on myself for not spending that time with this because I keep telling myself that I'm going to, and I just haven't done it. Next up, a band that I'm actually going to see live towards the end of this month. We have Insomnium with Shadows of the Dying Sun, melodic death metal out of Finland. I'm pretty excited about seeing these guys. I haven't been the hugest fan of them forever. Not because I didn't like the material. I just haven't really dug that deep into it. This one is pretty good. This is the one with the bonus disc, the 2 disc version of this album. It has the 4 extra tracks. I don't know if they just got cut from the original release and then added on the bonus. I'm not sure what exactly the deal was with the bonus tracks, but it is a very good slab of melodic death metal. I do like this. I want to dig deeper into the band's discography. The one that really got me into the band and kind of opened my eyes and had me starting to listen to them was the album entitled Winter's Gate from Insomnium. This is phenomenal. This is one track and it clocks in about 40 minutes. It's kind of a concept album, but it's done really well. Usually concept albums that are telling stories like this can be a bit hit or miss, but I feel like they crafted it and pulled this one off expertly, and I do love this. I don't know if they'll play anything from this live just because it is one track at 40 minutes. That's the only 2 releases that I own from them that so you guys can kind of open my eyes. If there's something in the discography, I know the newest full length. I've heard some of it. I really like it. At some point, I want to pick it up. But if there's something that you feel like I definitely need from Insomnium in the collection, please let me know down in the description. I will try to get a little bit more familiarized with their material before I see them live. They are playing with Black Anvil. I am a big Black Anvil fan, so it was kind of an extra added bonus to see Insomnium touring the States with them as well. Next up, we've got another band out of Canada. This is Instanzia. Instanzia. Yeah, I may have butchered that with Ghosts. This is power metal out of Canada, and this one's pretty good. It is just kind of it's another one that can have a little bit of those kind of cheesy themes, but they pull it off in a way that doesn't go over the top for me. So I definitely dig this. This is another one of those earlier Bandcamp purchases that I made, and I was kind of drawn in by the artwork on this. It did not sound anything like I expected it to sound when I listened to it, but I dug it enough to go on and pull the trigger and purchase it on Bandcamp. Next up, speaking of Canadian and stuff and the Metalhead box and all that good stuff, we have an album that I actually received in the Metalhead box from CDN Records and in a CDN Records grab bag that I just showed fairly recently. We have Instrumental with Exitio Profite, progressive, kind of progressive death metal, very progressive. I like it. The music on this is really good. It does at times feel like it kind of overstays its welcome a little bit, but I think that's just due to the progressiveness of some of the music. It does go a little over the top, but all in all, it's a very enjoyable release. It's just in this little cardboard slipcase, but I do dig that one. Next up, another album that I received in Metalhead Box. This is Insurrection with their latest full length. I say latest, I think it came out like in 2017, but it's their third full length, Extraction. I believe this band is out of Canada as well. More death metal, phenomenal release. I haven't thought about this one in quite some time, but I remember really liking it and spending some time with it when it came in that Metalhead box. So I may set this one to the side and kind of revisit it and re-listen to this because I do have fond memories of liking the material contained in that. Next up, we've got a little stack of hardcore. I guess hardcore, metalcore band kind of teeters the line of that. Influential band. We have Integrity with their debut full length entitled Those Who Fear Tomorrow. This is the remastered version, the 25th anniversary remastered version released through Magic Bullet Records. My favorite Integrity release. I don't like to be that guy who's like, I only like their early stuff, but for me, the earlier Integrity releases are where it's at as far as their music is concerned, and this one is definitely my favorite of all of their full lengths. So then I have a compilation of some of their earlier. This came out a little bit after the debut album, but it has a lot of material from 7 inches that they did and some split material and demo material. This is Integrity with Den of Iniquity, and this was also, I think, the majority of these that I'm going to show were released through Magic Bullet Records. I got a ton of stuff from Magic Bullet when they were kind of doing some closeout and stuff that was on sale, and I saw these Integrity releases, and I knew that I had to have them. I have their second full length entitled Systems Overload. They also have an EP with the same name, but this is the full length. And this one's pretty solid as well. All of them have that little uh, line going through the barcode. That doesn't bother me at all. I did get them like in a bulk. I don't know if it's like a promo lot or just a bulk lot, but they do have that little line. But that doesn't really phase me. I'm not real big. This one's got the special packaging. I'll open it up, but this is the Humanity is the Devil EP. I mean, the artwork on it is pretty cool. I'm not gonna pull it out because I don't want to scratch the disc up. But I believe there's like a poster and a big kind of booklet and stuff in that. But it is definitely like a reissue of that EP. But it's a very good. Musically, the EP is awesome. I'm not sure how I feel about that deluxe packaging on that one. Next up, we have a live album. This one's got you could take this or miss this. It's got the DVD of the performance and it's got the actual just the CD of the music. This is Palm Sunday from Integrity. This was live in 1992. So yeah, that's I mean, anytime you have a recording from the early '90s, a live recording, hardcore live recording, it's going to sound pretty much like you expect it to sound. Doesn't sound horrible, but it's not when I'm pulling Integrity material off of the shelf to listen to. That's not 99.9% of the time that's not the one that I'm going to listen to. And then I have one of their later full lengths. I believe this was entitled like Suicide Black Snake. I think is the name of this. Something along those lines. This one's okay. I wasn't just super taken blown away by this release by any means, but it's in this little fold out. I guess I had it backwards. There we go. I was trying to figure this out. I had it backwards. I apologize, but there we go. I mean, it's not bad, but I don't like being I only like their older material, but their early stuff is where it's at as far as Integrity is concerned. And then I have the split that Relapse Records put out with the band Krieg. Very interesting to have Integrity and then the black metal band Krieg together on this. It works. It's pretty decent split, but it is different to have those two styles of music, of extreme music there together on a split. Moving on, we have some more power metal. This is a band called Intense with As Our Army Grows. Pretty solid release. I got this. I think it like in a used bin. It had a little hype sticker that was on it at the time. It was like 4 fans of Iced Earth and had some other bands. and it was pretty cheap, so I figured I would take a stab at it and uh and give it a listen. And I was pretty impressed. I mean, for it to be a complete blind buy, not knowing what I was getting into, except for the fact of some of the bands that were mentioned, as far as if you like these bands, listen to this. It was a pretty pleasant surprise. So I know they have some other material. This is all that I have from them. I don't know if I would really just seek out more of their material, but I did like that album. Next up, we have some as offensively as possible gore grind out of Australia. I believe this band was actually charged with obscenity or something in Australia at one point with one of their albums. They have some very off-putting um, song lyrics and album titles and well, I guess song titles. And I think they just get off on being offensive. They try to be as offensive as possible. As far as the music goes, it is pretty decent. This is Intense Hammer Rage with Better to Kill Than Listen to This. This was not the one that got them in trouble. It was a couple of albums prior to this, I want to say, that got them charged. I believe they were charged and fined for that album. And if you want to go look it up and see what they were charged for, you can. I'm not going to get into it on this channel. I don't want to get flagged by YouTube or anything for talking about it. This was released on Ungodly Ruins. I believe Ungodly Ruins is a label. I believe that label's out of Russia. Next up, a band that I've really just kind of fallen head over heels for. This is Inner Arma with their full length entitled Sky Burial. This was released on Relapse Records. Very sludgy. They kind of incorporate sludge metal with black metal, death metal, and even there's definitely some post metal elements going. It feels like sludge metal and post metal kind of go hand in hand. They're able to incorporate these black and death metal passages into their material as well. It just works the way that they're able to do that. They're definitely masters of their craft. I have the Cavern EP. I really like this one as well. But the next one that I'm going to show is hands down my favorite Enter Arma release. I have Sulfur English, and this one I mean the artwork, everything on this just hits perfectly. The artwork matches the kind of oppressive feel that this album is able to put over you. I absolutely love this. I'm probably going to leave this one out as well. When I go through these videos and do these every week, there's always a couple albums that get set to the side that I want to revisit. That's another reason I like doing these videos, just kind of for a selfish reason, for me to kind of reintroduce myself and reacquaint myself with my own collection, because this one is phenomenal. Definitely, if you haven't heard Enter Arma, or you haven't heard this particular album, Sulfur English, I highly urge you to check this out. It is absolutely fantastic. Next up, we have a pagan black metal band out of Belarus. I want to say this is Interior Wrath with a album title that is in Russian. I'm not even going to attempt to try to pronounce that or say what that is. I believe this is their debut full length. They had this came out, I want to say, around 2007, 2008, if my memory serves me correct. I picked this up on Paragon Records, I think last year. They have a newer full length that has been out as well, but I haven't picked that one up yet. But I do like this. Very good pagan. It has that folky feel, black metal at times, but good stuff there. Next up, I'm not going to take this one. It's a box set. Only reason I'm not going to take this out of the slipcase and show it is that some of the teeth got damaged in transit, and I don't want the actual disc falling out everywhere. But we have Internal Bleeding with the Hemorrhage box set. It has the first three releases from Internal Bleeding in this. You have Voracious Contempt, which is absolutely phenomenal. Just killer brutal death metal. It has that grindy feel going at times. Killer stuff out of New Jersey. It's that 90s brutal death metal, so it may not be for everybody, But this is just, I absolutely love it, especially that Voracious Contempt. It was worth getting the box set just for that. And then the follow up to that, the Extinction of Benevolence, is another very solid release. I used to own bootleg copies of those, and I rehomed those after I got this box set. And then it has the third full length, Driven to Conquer. That one I'm not super big on, but the first two full lengths on this, they're just phenomenal. I could listen to those all day. There's the box set. The box set itself was released on Back on Black Records in 2021. Two more and we'll wrap this video up. I kind of rushed through it, but I have some stuff I have to take care of today, so I wanted to go on and knock this video out. Next up, we have some more brutal death. I believe this band is out of Chile. Chile. This is Intestinal Extirpation with Swallowing Humans for a New Amorphous Breed, kind of alien themed. Brutal death metal. This is the only full length that this band put out, which is unfortunate because this is pretty solid brutal death. This was released on Severed Records. I don't remember if I got this one in that big Severed Records grab bag or not. Probably so, but I'm not 100% on that. But I know it is a solid brutal death metal release. I do like this one. And then the last one is another band out of Canada. Go figure. A lot of very Canada heavy uh, this video. We have Into Eternity with Dead or Dreaming. I believe this is their second full length, if memory serves me correct. It's pretty good. Melodic death metal has some progressive tendencies going on this as well. I don't hate it. It's not my favorite Into Eternity release, but it is what it is. I mean, it is a placeholder in the collection. I have some more Into Eternity that we'll pick up with on the next video, but I believe the one that came out before this I liked a little bit more, but I don't own that one on a physical form, so I have the second full length there. But that's all for this one. If there was something in here that you wanted to know a little bit more about, or you didn't quite pick up the name or that type stuff from me, I know my accent is pretty heavy. Just let me know down in the comments, and I will try to link you up and give you ways to hear the stuff yourself. Definitely let me know about those Insomnium albums, what I need to check out next from that band, because I do want to get more acquainted before I see them at the end of the month. That's all I've got for today. I hope you guys have a great week. I'll pick up some more stuff. I have Metalhead Box coming in this week, and there's some other stuff I'm trying to knock out videos for as well. Stay classy, stay metal, and I will see you guys soon. I promise.